Bachelor Nation, we are back discussing another episode here. It's season 23, episode 3. We finally get our pageant drama, and plot twist, never been kissed, Heather is stirring the pot. We'll discuss it all right after this.
You're tuned in to AfterBuzz TV, the ESPN of TV talk. Now, let the buzz begin.
I don't know this one.
What girl do you think is saying this? I want it. I got it.
Demi. For sure.
Yeah. For sure.
Yeah.
You guys, welcome back. Kristina Zias here. I'm so happy to be hosting this episode. Guys, this show was so good. Honestly, this season is far surpassing any expectation I've ever had.
Yeah.
And we're going to break it all down tonight. I have Jeffrey Graham with me.
Guys, I agree with Kristina. Good episode of The
really
Bachelor.
Good. And Renee Ariel.
Hey, you guys. Yeah, I was living for this episode. Mm-hmm. The drama. It's keeping me coming back.
Oh, yeah.
So good, so good. You guys, we're going to break it all down and make sure you stay tuned to the end because our special segment, Tweeting for the Right Reasons, is back where we will share our favorite tweets from Bachelor Nation and we'll finally discuss the news you guys have been waiting for. Caelynn and Jason, what?
It's happening, man.
Yeah, it's happening. All right, before we get into all that, I want to know your overall thoughts for the season or for the episode. Jeff, let me hear it.
I thought it was a really good episode. I think, one, the producers did a really good job of painting the best version of Colton that they could. Bringing kids on the show, really smart. That's a good, that's a pro for Colton, right? And also, he's showing that he's decisive. I really like the decision he made with Caelynn because it showed that he's taking the process seriously. And I think with some of the girls, it seems like he's not asking really good questions, but with some of the girls, he's asking very direct questions. So he's figuring this out, and this was a good Colton episode.
I agree. Renee?
Yeah, I hate to say it, but Colton is really growing on me. I loved this episode because I am here for the pageant drama. I did not know that is the drama that I needed in my life until truly this episode. Wow. I cannot wait until they do this epic 2-on-1 because Bachelor Nation, you know it's coming.
Oh, yeah.
Unfortunately, not next week according to the promo, but it is coming and I will be sitting there with popcorn watching it, loving every moment.
God, don't you hope that they make them do a pageant?
Oh!
We should probably save it for predictions, but if they pit them against each other and they each have to do a speech and answer questions and swimsuit.
I don't know. I think one of them is going to be left on a deserted Asian island,
I know.
Somewhere in Indonesia for
1,000%.
sure. We'll get into all that. I totally agree with both of you guys, though. I thought this episode was really, really good. I love the pageant drama, and Colton really growing on me.
Yeah.
I mean, that part of the night with Elise and the kids, for sure. I felt some tears welling up in my eyes. I was like, oh my gosh, he is so sweet. He is such a good guy. Why was I so hard on him?
Yeah.
He's just a man trying to find love. I definitely grew and am continuing to grow a little bit of a soft spot for him. And
He's
the girls,
a good dude, you know?
right, deep down, I'm sure he is a really good
Right.
dude.
The question for me kind of remains still, is
Is he here
this
for the right reason?
a little bit, or the right partner? But
Yeah.
at the same time, I think he's a really good guy, so that's good.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Definitely. Okay, so let's get into the dates. The first date card we had said, I'm looking for life's greatest treasure, and Katie, Heather, Hannah B, Courtney, Kirpa, Tracy, Demi, and Caelynn were all invited. That's a lot of girls. Sometimes I'm I don't remember seeing Kirpa once that entire date.
No.
I know.
I actually remember thinking at the end of the episode, oh, Kirpa didn't get any time at all tonight.
Except we saw her panicking at one point. That's when you get worried for the girls when it's I haven't spoken to Colton in
Right,
19
right.
months. And
I
you're
love
the
that.
show is 3 weeks long.
I know how.
Yeah.
So this was a weird date because they were training to be pirates and fighting with each other on some wooden beam. Hannah was beating everyone, but then only 2 girls got to fight for Colton's heart. And it was kind of I was surprised that Tracy was one of the girls because you didn't see any of her.
I know.
Yeah. But my favorite part of this, just before we get into it, was Chris and Cindy, who are actors in LA who have lived here for 15 years. Okay, Chris and Cindy, we need you to play pirates for this one. And they're like, all right, welcome to the ship.
Yeah, totally.
That always makes me laugh. They're this is my big break. But yeah. But we did get to see some girl-on-girl fighting.
Yeah.
We did.
Yeah.
And I think we also saw the producers really working their magic because they totally did not pick Hannah on purpose. Like, I think she did the best, but they're trying to push her buttons because they probably knew about this beautiful beast inside of her during the psychology test that they were running on all the girls. So I think that they're trying to make her go crazy, and it's also working. So I cannot wait for it.
I was so happy that Colton addressed this later on because they were competing for Colton's heart, and obviously Caelynn won that little pirate ship competition. And it was such an awkward moment because I feel like that was the perfect time. She just saved him. He should have like swooped in and gave her a great grand kiss in front of everyone like any Prince Charming pirate would do. And it felt like such friend zoned. It was so awkward. And then later on when they finally had their one-on-one time, he started off their conversation by addressing it. And I was so happy because I was like, okay, he's a real person. He was not trying to pretend everything's perfect. He was like, okay, that was awkward. I'm sorry about it. And it was just like such a human connection for me that I really could relate to.
Yeah, we're finally seeing a person, right? We
Yeah.
haven't really seen who Colton actually is. He's been guarded and nice, but like not necessarily like a fully formed human. So that was a very human moment from him, which was great. And honestly, I get why he wouldn't want to do a really dramatic kiss because I think he's, a nice guy, and he doesn't want to necessarily make out with someone in front of 8 other girls he's courting.
Okay, but forget a really big dramatic kiss. He could have just like kissed her.
Yeah.
And it was like like one of
was
those
very
like delayed,
awkward.
Yeah.
like, do I kiss you on the cheek? Do I kiss you on the lips? What do I do?
Yeah.
It was also one of those moments that when you're watching it, it doesn't seem that bad, but for a fact Caelynn was thinking about that for the rest of the day.
For sure.
How awkward that was. Like, how many times in your life has a moment like that happened that I'm sure if you're just watching it, it doesn't look that bad, but to you, you're like, just bury me now.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it was bad. Something that really kind of bothered me was Demi and Tracy and their little conversation. And Demi is, gosh, like you love to hate her. She's really funny.
Yeah.
And sometimes I agree with what she's saying, but she is just such a bully.
Yeah.
Especially to the older women. And for her to say to Tracy, well, if I was an older girl, I would be insecure in this setting. I feel so bad for you. That's messed up. Like, and Tracy was holding it in. She probably wanted to get up and smack her across the face.
Wait,
What are you confused about?
Oh, because I thought, and maybe I was eating at this point, but I thought she said the thing about her being an older woman in the ITM in the interview, and then I thought she just said, "I feel bad for you" to her face. But am I wrong? You guys tell me.
No, she said I feel bad for you to her face.
Yeah. She
I
was
feel bad
like-
for you to her face, but did she say the thing about her being an older woman?
Yeah.
Yeah. I know.
Exactly.
I thought that wasn't in the moment. Oh my God, I must have been looking
No.
down at my sushi. Damn, that's awful.
Yeah, exactly. Imagine. And like,
I kind of like Demi. I don't know.
I know, I like her
can't
too.
tell. Sometimes she does stuff and I actually like it. I'm like, you know what? She's honest. She's being herself. Sometimes she does stuff and I'm like, ooh, that's shady. But like as a viewer, I'm like, I like this.
right. Like Demi and Onyeka both should be on a different show.
Yeah, for sure. They should
like
both
on
be on
Bad Girls Club or something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I will say I kind of fault Tracy here because like Tracy's letting Demi win. It's like
I actually think Tracy handled herself very well. She pretty much didn't say anything back. She was just like, okay, whatever. What is she supposed to say?
I just feel like I can smell the insecurity on
From
Tracy.
Tracy. Oh, for sure.
Like Elise would not let Demi get to her in terms
No.
of the Cougar Club. But
Yeah.
Demi's she's being the villain, but she's also playing smart. She's finding her competitor's weaknesses and going in hard.
Agreed.
What was
But
she?
do you really think Tracy's her competitor? Like, I feel like if she was serious about this and like wanted to like really play for Colin's heart, she'd be targeting other girls, not Tracy.
I don't think she's the one targeting Tracy, though. I think Tracy from the beginning was kind of playing victim. Like, I'm sorry. Listen, it's probably an unpopular opinion, but when Demi interrupted Tracy's time after a few minutes and then went up and cried, do you know how many times that's happened on this show, Tracy? Like, people do that all the time. They don't just go up and cry. I think that Tracy is doing what I would do on the show, which is absolutely lose my mind and, like, be insecure and be anxious. For sure. But I don't really think Demi's targeting her. Also, and I'm sorry for this, what was Tracy saying that Demi was then responding saying, I know you think that your passive aggressive comments are going over my head, but they're not. Because she also stuck up for herself. She did say that. And honestly, after seeing Tracy push Demi's hair behind her ear, I believe it.
What he was saying, this is, okay. I think what Demi was saying was she used the phrase like, I think we're like also different. Like, I wonder what his type is, or something. She said it was something with his type, and that's where Tracy got a little bit defensive, which I guess is like based out of insecurity because she was probably like, well, if Demi's his type, I'm not his type, and she said something about like, well, what comes with age, like like you maybe need to start dating outside of your type if it's not working out, something like that.
And here's what I'll say about Demi. I know she comes from sort of a tough background, and I bet she's dealt with bullying. Like, I bet she's dealt with stuck-up girls, possibly like Tracy, cutting her down. So she's like, I bet she's dealt with this, and she's like, I hear what you're saying. I'm not going to let you make fun of me. And so I kind of like, who was it? Hope just said, I like how Demi sticks up for herself, and I kind of like it too.
Yeah, I like that too.
She's a tough girl.
What I thought was interesting was how Courtney approached her. And Demi, like, pretty much shut it down. Courtney had nothing left to say. And I don't know why she was so upset. I think she was just talking to Tracy for so long.
People can't handle Demi, man.
I know. And
Demi's a tough chick.
She is a tough chick. We saw a very interesting connection with...
Wait, before we move on, I just want to say, Avalon Park, I think this is so spot on. Tracy and Demi are the new David and Jordan. Remember Chicken Suit David and Jordan were butting heads?
Yeah, kind of. That's funny.
That's a really good point.
That is a good point.
Yeah.
We also saw a very deep connection between Katie and Colton, who both have a lot in common, like their love for sushi.
Oh my God, that's so
that
rare.
Is what relationships, great long-lasting relations are built up.
They're like, we both love food, we both love breathing.
Wow.
It's like, they're trying so hard.
But they did seem kind of cute.
It was cute, yeah.
Do you guys like sushi?
I love sushi.
I mean, who doesn't like... I guess
maybe we're all meant for Colton.
I know. I think so.
Colton, are you my type, buddy?
And then on this date, we finally see some of the pageant drama. So Hannah B is the one who brought it up first. She was talking to Colton, and she said, Caelynn and I were friends. I feel like if you have feelings for her, you can't have feelings for me.
But hold on. Why did she go up to Colton to say that? Because of Never Been Kissed Heather.
No, that wasn't on this.
Not yet.
I thought, no, yes, they were gossiping.
Actually, Heather was a little bit,
Yes,
I
they
think.
were in the beginning. She was like,
okay, fine.
Heather's been egging her on for a bit. In the beginning, I think she's that girl that's like, I think Heather's seen The Bachelor. That's all I'm going to say.
Yeah.
Someone said in the beginning of the chat roll, I have to find it, but they said, oh, here it is. Marlene said, is Never Been Kissed Heather a producer plant or just a naive pot stirrer? That's a very fair question, Marlene. You guys, let us know what you think.
Yeah.
Oh my God, that's
She's like, I've never been
amazing.
kissed, but I've studied every single episode of this show.
That's what she was doing in her spare time.
Yeah.
But you know what? Hannah kind of rubbed me the wrong way. And also, just like a flashback to last week's episode, we read your comments, and a lot of you guys thought we were super harsh on our opinions on Hannah. And you know what? Those were just opinions. And I kind of stand by them. And I think we see a little bit again today. Like, there's a lot more to Hannah than like a very sweet, naive, innocent girl. And there's also a lot more to her, good and bad. Okay, not saying that she's exactly what the show's making her out to be, but she kind of almost gave Colton an ultimatum. Yeah. She was like, I feel like if you have feelings for her, you can't have feelings for me.
Mm-hmm.
I think
Colton did not like that.
No.
This is what happened. She practiced that in the mirror 5 times and thought it would come across the right way. As soon as she realized how it sounded, she immediately wanted to take it back. Did you see when he was like, so you're saying that if I like her, then I can't like you? And she's like, no, that's not
I love you.
But she did have a lot to say, and this is kind of why I was so frustrated last week, is because, okay, if you can so boldly go and tell this guy, if you like me, you can't like her, but then you don't know how to make a toast and you're so uncomfortable.
Yes.
There's just as many cameras around from night 1 to date, like your first one-on-one date to right now. So, I don't know. There was just something so fishy about it, and I just didn't like it. I'm never the person who likes when a girl brings up drama to a guy, because you only have so much time to talk about it. Why are you wasting it talking about another girl instead of getting to know him better?
Yeah, I totally agree. I was reading the comments last week, and I was like, yeah, maybe we did go hard after Hannah B. The anxiety argument's valid, and we don't want to discredit anxiety, but watching this episode, I was like, nah, I still don't like her.
Yeah.
Because I just think, unfortunately, I think she seems very insecure. I think she's the kind of person... I want to not be too disrespectful here, but I think her whole identity has been formed on being good at pageants. And I think she's forced in a position where she has to justify herself on something else besides being a pageant girl. She has to show that she has a personality, some kind of compelling characteristics besides winning beauty competitions. And she's realizing that she doesn't have it. And so the only approach she can take is to take down other girls. And I think it's an insecurity problem. So maybe rather than be angry, I can be sympathetic to her, but I think this girl's kind of a mess, unfortunately.
Yeah, I can be sympathetic to it too. I think what bothered me about it also was I don't know if I really enjoyed the way Caelynn handled it when Cole talked to her. I mean, I think
they're both messy.
They're both messy. I don't think. I mean, definitely two wrongs don't make it right. There's something going on here. I would love to come to the bottom of it. But when Colin asked Caelynn, she said that she like started crying and saying that like something happened in her past. And I just so badly wish we got to know what it was. She's like, I don't want to tell you yet. But it's like, okay, like, well, can you at least tell us, is that why you don't like Hannah B? Did she take what happened in your past and used it to like, you know what I mean, hurt you even more?
Here's what I'll say. I think some things in our life automatically give us an emotional reaction. And you don't want to talk about it, especially not on TV, especially with some guy you just started seeing around girls you just started being friends with. I completely, if this is true, and I think it's really hard to fake emotions unless you're an actress, and maybe her talent in the beauty competition was acting and crying on
monologues.
cue. Who knows? But I think it felt genuine, and I think when something hurts you, because there's certain things, and I'm sure you guys can agree, if you start talking about it, you'll cry. Like, it's just an automatic thing. So she probably didn't want to just become a sob fest and didn't want to talk about it. And she probably took those few days before she went back to him to be like, okay, how can I tell him in a way that's not telling him too much information that I'm not ready to share yet, but also letting him know, like, what happened. I do not blame Caelynn because she didn't start it. Right. If Caelynn said that first, it would be a different story. But she's only saying that to defend herself. And I think someone's lying. I'm sure there's like petty drama in pageants, sure. But I think someone is more
at fault.
Yeah, someone's definitely more at fault. And judging by just what we've seen, I think it's Hannah.
I agree.
And I do agree as well. And I do think that the story holds up where like, okay, Caelynn did get second place and Hannah didn't place. Like right away, you can be very jealous of that outcome. Right. You know what I mean? If you're Hannah, and I feel for her in that situation.
Last thing I want to say on this though, quickly. So you brought up, it's good. I feel like you're more team Caelynn than I am, and the way she handled this to you seems Caelynn.
Yeah.
That's fine, which is good. And I'm glad we have that counterpoint. But here was my issue with the way Caelynn handled this.
Tell us.
What's the one way that you can pull someone back in? Like, what's the number one Bachelor move? Open up about trauma, right? Like, it's like, oh, but this really bad thing happened, so love me. And here's how I read this. He's like, can you just tell me about the shady things that happened? And she was like, a really bad thing happened to me when I was young. Like, I feel like rather than answer the question, she's like, no, my past is so hard. Love me, Colton.
Right.
So rather than answering the question directly, she had to lean on the classic Bachelor trope of my life is so hard, I need a savior, you know? Right. And so I was like, it was shady. She didn't answer the question. She leaned on past trauma to win Colton back.
I think it was shady. I think that she was trying to insinuate that she was going through something during the time that her and Hannah were competing. That's how I took it.
That makes sense.
Because I think that she doesn't want to talk about why she was so quiet, why the competition was getting to her as much as it was. I think that's why. I mean, don't you think it's a little fishy that neither one of them went into what happened? The only reasons I could think of for why you wouldn't get into that is because A, you're the one lying, or B, it is sensitive stuff you don't want to talk about. And so if Hannah wasn't lying, then why didn't she come out and say it? And if Caelynn is telling the truth, it makes sense for her to not get super into detail of what is going on.
I mean, whatever. We'll obviously see more about their story later on in the episode and later on in the season. But obviously, Colton bought whatever Caelynn was selling because she got the group date rose.
Yes. God, that moment.
I know. I felt so bad. It was so cringeworthy. But my favorite part about it was Colton came out to get the rose. And Demi was like, hey, babe.
I know.
And I was like, ooh, awkward. Yeah. And she called herself out. She knew it was awkward, too. Yeah. But, so this is where, this is the last thing I'm going to say on Hannah and Caelynn for right now, and then we'll get into them a little bit more later on during the pool party. But Hannah did say, it will suck if he sends me home before her. And that's not okay. Because
That's
this is just a competition with Caelynn. You just want to beat her. You're clearly not there for Colton. At this point, it's just a competition with Caelynn.
1000%.
And I think that's why I definitely side with Caelynn a little bit more.
Yeah.
Yeah, that line stuck out to me too. I was like, you did not just say
I
that.
know, exactly. Okay, let's get into the beautiful one-on-one date with Elise. Love is in the air. They flew to San Diego and they went to Belmont Park, which was closed down for the day. I love the way that Elise handled the news about other people being there on their date, because you could tell she was like a little bit upset about it, but she was trying to be open, and it was just like very cute. And I'm just so happy he gave her this opportunity to have a one-on-one date, especially when we hear all like the ageist comments coming from Demi.
Right.
She's older than him by 5 years, and they just seem to have such a genuinely cute and adorable connection. What do you think, Jeff?
I love them. I love this date. I also don't think they're a long haul couple.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, I don't see her with Colton. I think they're great people who aren't compatible. But I really liked this date, and I really like both of them. I don't see Colton wanting to marry someone like her. I hate to say that, but I see him wanting
Someone like her in what way?
I don't think he would want to marry someone older. I don't want to be. I'm being just as ageist as the rest of the cast, but I think because he seems like such a traditional, I don't know, I'm just trying to picture the person he'd want to like have on his arm at church or something, and I just don't necessarily picture her. And again, I'm not saying I don't love Elise. This date was awesome. I just don't see a ton of chemistry. I think it's interesting. People are pitching her for Bachelorette right now, and I could definitely see that. She'd be a really interesting pick.
It's funny because while we were watching the date, I pretty much had the exact same opinions as you. I was like, oh my gosh, I love them together. I love her. She's so cute. And it almost felt to me, and you guys, especially in the chat room, let me know what you think. I almost felt like I was watching a date with Nick Viall and Rachel, where you could tell they weren't going to work out together, but you could tell she was such a cool person. And it was almost as Nick was like propping her up to be the next Bachelorette, always talking her up, always saying how great she was. But you knew he wasn't going to choose her. I almost feel the exact same way about Elise. And I don't know, I think it's a little too early to tell she'll be the next Bachelorette. There's still a lot of season left, but I love her, and I think that'd be awesome for them to choose someone like her.
Yeah, I really like Elise a lot. I think she's going to go pretty far, like top 6, top 5, I could see her. I think that they have chemistry, and to be honest, I disagree with you when you say that's not the girl that Colton would want to see on his arm at church. I think that is the girl that he would want on his arm at church, but that's like how he's making his decision with her, because I think she's such a good person.
Yeah.
She's gorgeous. She's mature. That he's like, that's the type of girl that I want to be with. But at the end of it, that's not enough to propose to someone.
Right.
He clearly has a deeper connection with other girls. Hannah G, can we just give her the final rose already? He's obsessed with her.
Yeah, I mean, I do agree that even though they spend so much time together and there was definitely a connection and he spoke so highly about her, it still didn't feel like there was a romantic connection.
I feel like they both really admire each other.
Yeah.
No, I think Elise is into him.
I think I think at first she was a little skeptical, and now I think she really was so smitten. I mean, not for nothing, but like coming from a woman's point of view, seeing a man that you think is good looking, that you're there dating with like a bunch of kids, like I think like every woman who wants to have a family wants to see a man be a potentially great dad. That's something that's so sexy and appealing and like something that every woman would want.
Yeah.
And I mean, he was so charming with all of those kids. How could you not like fall for him in that moment? I was falling for him in that moment, and I hated Colton last year.
It's vice versa with the guy seeing a woman who could potentially be the mother of your children too.
You agree?
I agree. I think.
Do you think it's as strong?
I don't know.
For women?
It might be more strong, especially because I think, I don't want to sound sexist here, but I think in general, there are probably more deadbeat dads than there are deadbeat moms. Like, it's probably harder to find a guy,
an amazing
dad.
Yeah.
I don't know. Like, I think.
Yeah, I know. I'm sure there's a lot of great dads. I understand.
There's
where
plenty
you're
of great
coming from.
dads.
Yeah.
But yeah, I just think, I don't know if I totally agree that Elise is smitten with Colton. I think she recognizes that Colton's a really good guy, but I don't see either of them truly being each other's type. I feel like they're the type that you're really happy when they find happiness with someone else.
Right.
You know, when you see an ex you really admire and you're like, I'm glad they're happy.
Totally.
I unfortunately see that for them like 3 years down the road.
Okay, I can see that.
But I like both. I like Elise.
Yeah, I like her too. Okay, so next, we have the other group date. I mean, do you guys have anything left to say about Elise's date? Okay. We had Tayshia, Nina, Catherine, Sydney, Onyeka, Cassie, Nicole, Caitlin. For every strong man, there's an even stronger woman. Okay, so this is my favorite part. Colton is waiting for them topless. And Onyeka, once again, thinks she's on a different show, gets out of the limo, runs, jumps, and like straddles him. I'm like, oh my gosh, she is so much.
It's hilarious.
She forgot because listen, you guys, they probably told her that's for one-on-one dates, and she forgot.
Yeah.
Every one-on-one date that happens.
They probably told her this is for the challenge, and then she's like, oh no, wait, I'm on The Bachelor.
Oh my gosh, she's so funny.
I love
like her
Onyeka.
so much.
I know, she's really funny. So
Yeah.
we see Terry and Rebecca Cruz. And Terry said, this woman is the glue that has kept our family together for all these years. They've been together, married for 29 years.
That's insane.
That made
Is
me-
that terrible that I'm saying that? But
No,
like,
I
divorce
thought it was really beautiful. I was so happy to see them.
Well, and Terry Gross has been really open about their struggles too, which is cool.
Right.
It's interesting. If you want to go, Terry Crews, I think, is a really good dude, and he's been open about the fact that it's not easy. And I really like both of them.
And
so.
they both said that, and I really appreciate that so much because here, especially in The Bachelor, you fall so quickly. You're on these like beautiful, elaborate romantic dates that do not represent real life struggles at all, or just like real life in general. Forget about the struggles. And marriage is for sure work every single day. You know what I mean? You probably know that.
Oh, yeah.
I know that as a married woman.
Oh my God, I'm the only single one on my panel.
We're both married.
Wow.
Renee is single and ready to mingle.
Oh, why am I just thinking of that now?
It's okay, Renee. That's
We
why we
need
keep
it.
you on the panel. We really needed a single point of view. No, but I really appreciated them saying that, and I thought this date was fun. I mean, what did you guys think about it? Like, they were working out the entire time.
I just kept thinking, this is why I would never go on The Bachelor.
Why?
That is so,
You've been going to the
That
gym, girl. You
looks-
can kill it.
not like that. It just looks exhausting. Like, I love dates where we just go to dinner and like watch a
Well,
movie.
this is how The Bachelorette is, or any Bachelor show, where it's like
That's
the
what I'm
group date is like
saying.
you're going to Tahiti for like a beautiful lunch, and the group date's like we're simulating hell, and you all need to crawl on your hands
Totally.
and like through a pile of crap. And
Totally.
The group
Yeah.
dates are terrible.
They're terrible. That's why
Yeah.
I would sign up for the show and they would have like looked back at our after shows and be like, I know what we're gonna give her, and I'd have to like climb a mountain.
Probably.
This is why I can't do it.
Well, you know what? As someone who considers myself very strong, I was thinking, shoot, I would kill this group date.
Yeah,
like,
you
I would
would.
have liked it.
You for sure would.
I would have thought it was so much
You're
fun.
competitive too.
I am competitive, definitely. But I mean, it was funny the things that they did. I like that they did the Bachelor Strongest Woman competition.
Someone just said,
Avalon Park.
yeah, Renee, go on The Bachelor and get you a man, girl.
Right? Right?
I'd cheer you on.
Wait, we need to submit her.
You'd be great. You
Guys,
know all the rules.
I would be the crazy Bachelor girl. Also, all I talk about on this show is how bad I would be on The Bachelor.
It's okay. Jeff and I are officially going to submit you for next season. We're going to recommend you. What's it called? I forget. Okay, so pretty much they did this whole competition. Onyeka won.
Who's surprised?
Okay, you know who was surprised? Colton. I think he's like, damn, I wish Onyeka didn't win. I felt like their moment in the limo when they were like kissing was so awkward.
Oh yeah, he's not into her.
No,
He's not
not
into
he
her.
like thinks she's funny and like cool, but like he's definitely not trying to
They
take
feel
her
like
home.
high school friends.
Yes, totally.
Yeah, like they're on like they both play soccer and like at the potluck they sit together and laugh.
Yeah.
She's like Alexis to Nick Viall.
Yes, exactly.
Like, he wants to keep her around because she's so funny. She's so fun. She really bumps up the episode. But, like, she's not going to get the final rose. Or probably fantasy suites.
Hope Lockwood said, do they really expect us to believe that Caitlyn pulled that limo? Wait, that was so funny. I was like, another plot twist. What?
They did get so extreme. It was like, you guys have to move a balloon and you guys have to pull a giant car.
I know.
Like, okay.
So ridiculous. One conversation that I really liked was Caitlyn was talking about the pressure and the second part of the group date. And Catherine said, I don't feel any pressure. If it's going to happen, it's going to happen.
Yeah.
And I really appreciate that. And because, it's just the truth.
DJ Aggro, baby. You had a good run.
Do you think in this moment you would feel pressure even if like you kind of had that belief it's meant to be, or no? 'Cause I feel like there's still some anxiety there for sure.
I have overwhelming anxiety, so I think for sure I'd be like, I don't think I
Wait,
like him, but
hold
I
on,
think
Jeff, write that down so we can put it on her resume for The Bachelor. Has overwhelming anxiety.
Oh my God, they would hire. I'd be on the next season for sure. No, like I completely agree with Catherine when she said, God, that was like Catherine speaking the truth. What a sad time to go home. But when she said you can't force a connection, that is so true. You can find someone, like I'm sure we've all been on dates with people like on paper that are perfect for us. What we see in a partner, whatever, handsome, hardworking, everything. But if the connection's not there, don't force it. It's just hard on a show like this when there's 30 women. You're definitely not going to connect with all of them. However, you're still supposed to want the rose.
Right,
Yeah.
but I think that's why. I'm sorry, I just got so distracted
What?
because in my notes, all I saw was gracias, papi.
Oh God, yeah.
This was so much.
That was my most cringeworthy moment of the night. Alex.
No, not
Nicole.
Nicole.
Trying to have a moment. I don't know why I called her Alex. Nicole trying to have a moment with Colton. And then at the end, she says, I can tell how much you care. Gracias, papi. And I just felt like, I don't know, it just didn't feel right to me. What do you guys think? Am I thinking too much into it?
It felt a little intense. I can't imagine someone saying thanks, Daddy, to me after kissing her. So there's that.
Oh, I didn't think it was intense. I thought that's her.
Did you watch Jeff's face when she said it?
I was, whoa!
He really was. He was so taken aback that I died from it.
I just feel like that kind of language, to me, seems like something you say for the bedroom. But that's just my take. If I kissed someone I didn't know that well and they said gracias, papi, I don't know if I'd be upset, but I might be like, that was intense.
Yeah. Okay.
But
well, he seemed like
He liked it, which
he
is
liked
great.
it. I guess the biggest standout moment of this date was Caitlyn. It was
Yeah.
so bad.
That was cringier than Hannah B's one-on-one date.
Could not agree
by
more.
far, and that was very surprising. I'm so confused though because she kept saying, "I don't know what I should open up to you about." It seemed as though the producer like taught her what to say during her time one-on-one with him, and they're like, "Just open up about something." She's like, I don't know what to open up about. My life is great, and she said like so many times. So I'm wondering if she just got out all the surface level stuff the first night about what she does. Isn't that kind of the thing you would want to talk about when you get one-on-one time with him?
I you know what? On one level, I kind of feel like I get this girl. I feel like the word basic can kind of sound condescending, but I feel like honestly Caitlyn's just kind of a surface level person, like she loves to go out with her friends. That's what she said.
That's what she said. She wants someone to go out with her friends and have a ridiculously good time.
And there's nothing wrong with that, but like it's just tough because when you have 5 weeks to really open up, the way she phrased it, I think I wrote it down, was, I don't have anything I want to share with you, but like tonight was great.
Right.
It's just tough. That's your only chance. And I just feel like she's not the most deep person.
You know what, though? I kind of understand what you're saying, Renee, because I feel like the producers probably are like, you really need to open up to him. Tell him about something.
Right.
You know what I mean? And like in past seasons, we see like, okay, for instance, even in the same episode, Elise told him about her sister passing. Like, I don't know, Hannah B was able to tell about Caelynn and her Miss USA drama.
Right.
Maybe she didn't have anything to really share and got so in her head about it. But Colton asked her, like, what is... Well,
Tell me about your family.
Tell me about your family. And then she could have been like, oh my gosh, you know what? My family loves to eat. Like, honestly, that's like a big thing. When we are spending time together, we're always around the dinner table. Like, that's something he could have related to or anything. And she couldn't even answer that question. So I was so happy that he sent her home. I was like, oh, damn, Colin is decisive. He's making a move. It just felt like kind of what we all thought should have happened on the Hannah B date. That obviously turned around for him. So I'm so happy it happened tonight with Caitlyn.
Yeah, I will say I feel for Caitlyn because I think when it gets to a certain week into this process where you fall behind, the insecurities go way up. You are definitely in your head.
Yeah.
And I don't think there's getting past that in a night. Like I think if I was really spiraling and like overthinking and feeling behind and not feeling like I have anything good enough to share, I might also close down. I try to put myself in her shoes.
Yeah.
I also think that it's very possible in one conversation you like get in that limo and you're like, what did I just say? Did I just say I want him to go out with my friends? Like you also like, what was I? She could be a deep, deep person. Like we just may not have gotten it.
Yeah.
Because God, insecurities get the best of us. Look at Tracy.
Yeah.
They just weren't compatible. There's plenty of guys there's other bachelors that Caelynn would be compatible
sure,
with.
totally.
For sure, she's gorgeous.
And she's clearly got some spunk, because my favorite moment of the episode was when they were leaving and she's like, I don't really want to hold your hand, Colton.
Yes, I love that.
It was awesome. I was like, okay, this girl's got something. And then, this is what I hated, he proceeded to try to grab her ass. Pardon my French. But did you guys notice that?
Yeah, I don't think he was going for her butt, but he was trying to put her hand around her waist.
It's like, dude, if she asks not to hold your hand, don't go for her waist.
He just didn't even know what to do.
It was that was cringy for me, Colton.
You guys, who got the group date rose? Chat roll, who got the group date rose?
We quickly, Cassie, we didn't talk about it. Mad chemistry, making out on a window.
Oh, Cassie got the group. No.
Did she? I don't think she got
she
it.
didn't.
The chat's like 5 seconds behind.
They were cute though.
Yeah, they were.
Yeah.
Cassie and Colton, I see them long game.
Me too. And you saw Cassie's face afterwards when she was sitting with the girls. It was like all flushed, and I was like, oh, they just had a good little makeout session. Like there was some heat there.
Yeah.
I really like Cassie.
Nicole got the group date.
Oh, okay. Oh, that
yeah.
Poppy,
Oh, Poppy,
thing worked.
yeah.
Oh, shoot. What do I know?
He likes being called a dad.
Yeah.
That's his greatest dream, is to be a dad.
Renee,
so.
when you go on, make sure you use Poppy.
Oh, yeah. I think that Cassie is a dark horse, Poppy. I think that she's going to be top 2.
Yeah, I think
That's a bold statement, but I really think
she's
so.
I think she's a dark horse too.
I think Colton likes blondes.
I think so also.
He's so obsessed with Hannah G. Can we just...
Yeah, so pool party, Hannah G and him had such a cute moment. I was like, wow, this girl was not on any group date, and he totally validated her.
It was a little funny, though, because he's like, you look great. And she's like, oh, me? I've only been tanning every day. Like, she totally outed herself, but it was funny.
But I think she said that in a way where it's like, well, since you haven't brought me on a date, all I have to do is tan here. I think that she was trying to like be a little sarcastic with him.
Nice. Okay.
My favorite part of, I think, the entire pool party was Heather firing up Hannah B. And then Hannah B saying there's a beast inside, which was just like, seriously, like a scary moment. Because for Heather, she was like, oh no, what did I start?
Yeah. What have I done? She's Dr. Frankenstein. Like, I've created the monster.
Exactly. I don't know why. I was just like surprised for...
I felt a little producer fed. I'm like, no one earnestly roars for 10 seconds. Not even Hannah B.
Wait, can I make one more comment about Hannah G? Because people keep saying that they don't know why he likes her so much. I think it's the intense eye contact. That girl looks him in the soul. You know what I mean?
And she has beautiful eyes.
Gorgeous eyes, but it's always like every time they talk, it's just staring into each other's eyes. And I don't think any other girl has that powerful of an eye hold as she does.
You know what I will say about Hannah G? I obviously don't know her at all, but I feel like she's being herself. When I see her, I don't feel like she's playing a character. Like, sometimes I feel like that with Caelynn. I like Caelynn, but sometimes I'm like, okay, like, what's Caelynn really like? I feel like Hannah G seems like...
I agree.
You get what you see.
I think she's an Instagram girl.
Well, she
Hannah G.
is an Instagram.
She literally is.
She is. Her thing's content creator.
I think she's there for the wrong reasons.
Oh, she's definitely there for the wrong reasons, but she might like him now. She went on this show because she's like, I'm going to get some followers. Watch her. She has a video that she pretended to be casually closing her door and licking an ice cream. Like, you planned that. That took 10 takes. Don't lie to me. We've all been there,
Okay,
Hannah.
but see, in all fairness, her job title is content creator. She's saying, this is what I do. Do you know what I mean? She's not like trying to pretend like she's someone else. She's like, yeah, I'm a content creator. I'm cute. But I still like boys, and I'm trying to find a guy. Like, I think Colton's cute. Like, maybe he's the one for me. Who knows? I'm here for the... Like,
at the same time, I think that she went there and they actually did have a bit of a spark, and that's why things are working out. However, I think the reason why she's coming across as if she's being herself is because she's playing the game right. I think Hannah G is the perfect example of someone playing the game right. You know, this girl's seen The Bachelor before. I think she knows what she's doing. The fact that why I think she's going to make it really far, if not win, is because they have not made fun of her for being a content creator, like saying that she's there for the wrong reasons or anything like that. No one said that, given it's early on. But I do find that interesting for someone that is flat out an influencer, content creator, model girl.
Yeah.
I don't know. I think I like her.
I'm not a huge fan. That's okay. She might grow on me. Yeah, not a huge fan of Hannah G.
I just don't have anything to dislike at this point.
Yeah.
Someone in the chat room, I just lost it, said that Colton just seems to be into. I mean, Colton's type is Cassie and Hannah G, sweet, cute girl, not like way into like super aggressive or dominant girls, more like a Tia or Demi. And
Or
I think
Onyeka.
and I think that's pretty accurate. Okay, real quick, let's get into the rose ceremony. The girls who got roses were Hannah G, Tayshia, Katie, Cassie, Kirpa, Sydney, Demi, Tracy, Courtney, Heather, Onyeka, and Hannah B. And the women who went home were Catherine, Nina, and Bree. I'm disappointed about Bree because there was just so much hype leading up to her with the whole Australian accent, and we literally saw none of her. I hope she makes it onto Bachelor in Paradise at least.
I think she seems like a Bachelor in Paradise type.
I think that's her time to shine,
for
huh?
sure will go in Paradise.
And so will Catherine.
Yes.
Nina, you better work.
Yeah.
Women tell all. Otherwise, I don't know what we'll be seeing from you.
Yeah.
Okay, guys, should we get into our special segment?
Let's do it.
Tweeting for the right reasons.
We have some tweets, guys.
All right, who wants to go first? Renee? Lead it off with your favorite tweets from Bachelor Nation.
Okay, you guys. So there were a ton of good tweets tonight. I always love seeing what everyone is saying about the episode, but my favorite was, the picture of Hannah B. roaring, if you will. Someone put her in. It's the MGM not logo. The intro. What do you?
The slate.
The
maybe?
slate, I guess.
Production slate.
Her roaring instead of the lion, and then this Pay. Captioned it, "The Lord works fast, but Bachelor Nation works faster." So this is hysterical. If you guys haven't seen this, I think we're gonna pull it up, but it's a good picture.
If not, we'll have Renee tweet it in the comments below so you guys can look at it.
Oh yeah, I retweeted it. Also, go check out my Twitter @Renee Ariel if you want to see it right now.
I went ahead. I love SpongeBob, you guys. It's a very important part of my childhood. So I found a SpongeBob-related tweet. The tweet says, recap of all 3 different dates tonight. The first one is pirates, the second one's an amusement park, and the third one is the animals all lifting.
I love that one. I saw that too. It's funny and very accurate.
Very impressive that they found all this.
Definitely.
Yeah.
My favorite tweet was from Vanna, who says, "Every time Colton gets kind of upset, ... is it the wall?" Which is so funny to me. And there's a meme of Michael from The Office saying, "Oh my God, okay, it's happening." And every time Colton gets upset, I'm like, "Oh my gosh, is it the time he's going to jump over the wall?" So I just felt like it was very relatable.
Yes.
And you guys in the chat roll, and anyone who's listening or watching later on, if you tweet on Instagram or if you tweet on Twitter, make sure you hashtag tweeting for the right reason so we could see your tweets and possibly shout them out on our next episode.
Great.
All right, news and gossip.
Yeah, quick news and gossip.
AfterBuzz TV News.
So this was kind of a shocker to me. Caitlin Bristow and Jason Tartick are dating, you guys. What do you think? I mean, Caitlin has been engaged to Sean for so many years now. They obviously broke up, I think, over the summer they broke up. And I believe Caitlin and Jason started dating in October. And if you guys have any more scoop, let us know. But are you shocked about this? Do you ship it? Do you like them? What do you think?
Based on the Instagram stories that I've seen so far, I really like them together. Given I loved Caitlin and Sean together as well a lot. Like, I really love them together. But I like that the two of them can be silly and make each other laugh. Like, it seems like their date night was really funny. But, oh my God, I just keep going back and forth because Sean and Caitlin had so many cute and funny moments too, so it just feels like another relationship like that. So maybe Caitlin's just the best.
Jeff, what do you think?
I feel like I don't know Caitlin well enough. I'm a little disappointed Jason's dating in Bachelor Nation. He kind of seemed like he had the type of personality where it's like Jason from Buffalo isn't going to get sucked into the vortex. And now he's in the vortex.
He's super in the vortex. I feel like all he's been doing is Bachelor-related stuff.
I know, and I kind of pictured him just like, I do my own thing, but...
Yeah, I mean, I will say, I like Caitlin.
He's one of them.
I loved Caitlin and Sean together. I was really crushed when they broke up. I thought they were in it for the long haul. I thought we were for sure going to see them get married. This is a little surprising to me. I mean, I'm happy for them if they're happy, but I don't really know if I ship it. I feel like it almost feels weird on Jason's part.
Yeah.
I feel like he's almost with Caitlin for the wrong reasons.
Yes.
You know what? I could see that considering... And maybe I'm wrong, but it's him posting a lot of these stories. It's very much like, well, look, we're out with Caitlin. Remember Caitlin?
But she does that too. I think that Caitlin, okay, this might be a hot take. I think Caitlin is using Jason to get over Sean and to rub it in his face. And I think Jason is using Caitlyn to get more Instagram followers.
So do we think
And more
overall
famous overall. I think they're
That they're
both
gonna
using
last.
each other.
They are.
I don't think they're going to last.
I don't think they're gonna last either.
But maybe they're both there to help each other get over heartbreak, and they're just a good relationship for the moment.
I like both, so I wish them the best.
Yes, agreed.
Nice.
They don't even. Where does Caitlyn live again? Nashville?
Nashville, yeah, and he lives in.
Chicago,
Does he?
doesn't he?
I feel like he's
Buffalo?
living in Hollywood or something.
Yeah, he might be.
Dude's thirsty, man.
Oh my gosh, shady. You guys, well, that's it for this
That'll do
episode.
it.
We'll be back next Monday. You can follow me, Kristina Zias, on Twitter, Instagram, and across social media at Miss Zias. Jeff, where can everyone find you?
You guys can find me on Twitter at Jeffrey C. Graham, or and I guess my Instagram's more fun. I don't really tweet, so that's at Jeffrey Crane Graham.
Ooh. And Renee?
You guys can follow me on Instagram and Twitter at Renee Ariel, and you can check out my blog, sextingandthecity.com.
And you guys, we are talking about The Bachelor all
the time.
all week long. So make sure if you want to continue this conversation, slide into our DMs and let's continue it there.
Bye,
All right,
guys.
guys. Later.
Our founder, Keven Undergaro, and me, Maria Menounos, would like to thank you for tuning in to AfterBuzz TV. Remember, we're not just the first, we're the biggest in the world, and we're the only destination for all your favorite TV shows. Whatever you crave, we've got it. So go to AfterBuzzTV.com and check out our lineup. Buzz you later.
The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of AfterBuzz TV or its owners or principals.